Welcome to this Enjoying Art watercolor lesson. Today I'm going to show you how to paint the tulips. And you can see that in this reference, some are very soft background, it's part of that background. Some are very clear at the front, right? If you want to download this reference, just come to our Enjoying Art community on Patreon. Just come to join us. Let's spend the next 30 seconds to listen to what our members say about the Enjoying Art.
My name is Vicky Littell. I'm an Australian living in Orlando, Florida. I have been part of Chen's community since 2017. I found Chen on YouTube.
Interesting.
And
We're going to test
decided
it
that
to see if it works.
I would like to try work closer with him. My
the
goal has
video
always been
broadcast.
to be a watercolorist. It's been my fascination since a child. I retired 2 years ago, and since that time I've put all of my focus and energy into developing my skills. My big challenge came when I saw how to do a portrait from a cell phone. This is the beginning. I started going through all of the portrait classes. All of this has helped me to grow and develop my skills.
Thank you, Vicky, for your testimonial. All right, let's start working on the painting. And to prepare this, we need to do the masking because we want this flower to be very clear. And then we're going to focus on working on the background. Okay, I'm going to use this calligraphy brush to first have the soap get into everywhere in the brush. Okay, this is good. This is the preparation. This is the way actually to protect your brush and being destroyed by the masking. Now I'm going to use this. This time I'm using the Winsor & Newton watercolor masking. Okay. I'm just going to have some. Not going to be much. I'm going to put it right on the cap. I'm going to clean it up after. So this is good. So this one is already prepared. And what I'm going to do, maybe we should just have a little pencil to draw a little shape of the flower before we make the masking. So this about the size, the bottom, the top over here, right? The top over here, the bottom would be here. That is good, right? And what about the width? It looks like the width is a little about the same as is the height. So I'm going to put this right in the middle over here. This is about the size of the tulip at the front. So let's take a look. It looks like two pieces. One is the front over here, like that. Okay, you don't have to draw too much. We just need to find out the location of this flower so that we can put it into the right place and to mask it. Okay, here you go. Like this. And if you have the time, please do a little bit drawing study. And that probably it would make the outcome much better. Okay, coming over here like this. There is the second piece. Okay, and there's another petal over there that looks pretty good. So we don't have to do too much of an inside of this location. This is good, like that. I'm gonna come in. There's also, I'm gonna mask this part as well. That's good. And there's another stem coming. I try to avoid it to be too vertical, so it's make it a little bit slanted. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna have this actually a little bit bigger, like that. This is good. So this is the drawing, and I'm gonna have this leaf. I'm gonna have this leaf just a little bit and a little bit lower. So here you go. So I don't want to compete with the flower, right? That's good. like that. This is great. And have the leaf on this side. So I'm a little bit wondering about this piece. Should this piece also mask or not? And maybe no, I'm gonna take that out, right? Because if I have this over here, this just looks like I lost the balance. So I'm gonna remove that. So just ignore that piece. Okay. All right, this is good. Now I'm gonna start masking. So here you go. My brush already filled with all the soap. So I'm gonna put it in here. Now I'm gonna just paint just like a painting into the shape. Okay, that's good. And look at it. And just put it down like that. Just the way you paint it with the brush. Like you painted the shape. Okay, this is good. And over here, that's good. You don't have to make it very thick, but you have to also do it quick, because the masking is going to dry really quickly. And here you go. Now right over here and coming down. That's good. And there's another piece of petal of flowers. This is good. And look a little bit lower, and you can see that where it has been, what has been masked. What else do you need to do? This is pretty good. Now I'm gonna have this coming over here. That's good. Wonderful. And then they could take a look at this. That's good. Look at the same width from the top to the bottom. And this is good. Alright, that's great. Take a look over here. And that's all we need to mask. This is great. Now I'm going to clean my brush. And in a few minutes, I would be able to start painting into the background. Okay, let's put away the masking. And then this almost dry already. There's just many brand of masking fluid out there available, and I will have the link in the video descriptions after this demonstration, so you can try out the one that you like. And let's take a look. And how we're going to do the background. Okay, this is very dark, and we try to do that only one time, and then lay out the very dark color. The dark color that will be using the Winsor blue green shade and the Winsor red, and these two colors together will make it really dark. But obviously over here is going to be more as blue. And then I'm going to have the red color, just the red, getting in the middle over here to have a soft, like a wet into wet, soft edges. And the same thing over here, under here, after we put the blue and red color coming down over here, and we will also have the yellow and the blue mix the green color. Maybe just the yellow color, put it in here that already has the blue color underneath. So this is the plan. After the background quickly dry, and then we're going to remove the masking, and then we'll be able to finish this painting really quickly. Okay, this is good. I'm just touching it, testing it. This is good. Ready. Okay, now I'm going to use this 1-inch flat brush because my paper is small. If you use a larger paper, you can have a larger version of this brush, and like a 2 inches, 3 inches. Okay, now I'm going to take the blue color first. Okay, here you go. And get the red color. And you see how I take the red color? I take the red color from the side, so that it's not going to make it all dirty. Okay. All right, this is good. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it really quickly. Here you go. Get the color a little bit thicker, so that it's a little bit darker. Now coming over here, this is good. And coming down all the way here, and then all the way down over here, this is good. Now I'm going to have that, look at the red flower right over there. I'm going to painting around and keep going right here. That's just the soft shape. Now here you go. Keep that, get a little bit more water. Here you go. Keep adding this, make sure it's dark enough. And coming down over here, here you go. That's just the red flower down over here. So this whole process very crucial that you have to do it fast, and or it's gonna getting very, very dry. Okay. Here you go. That's good. And coming a little bit down over here, and here you go. Now some really dark color. Okay. So there's a many reasons that why we have to use at least one brush had to be very, very big and like a flat brush, right? Okay, I'm gonna put this again, have that a little bit darker at the top. This is great. Now I'm gonna quickly change my brush, not change my brush, just clean my brush. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the red color. So don't have to be purely clean. So just take the red color. Now I'm gonna coming over here. You see this is very, very wet. And now I'm going to start have the red color pushing that out. Okay, a lot more red. You need more pigment. Otherwise the blue color will keep coming back to this spot. Okay, here you go. Like that. And we can have some red color pushing out. And after it dries, it looks very, very soft and nice. Okay, have this, moving that a little bit more red outside. I'm gonna come in back here to soften the edge over here. Here you go. Now I'm going to also gonna make that the red color a little bit more. Now this is good. Wet into wet versus the wet on dry. That's very important. I clean it. Now I'm gonna get the red color again. Now I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna have a couple, just a little bit brighter red color over here. And now I'm gonna have push this out. And here you go. Like that. And having a little bit higher. Actually, a little bit higher. And that's just good. Now, that's good. Now I'm gonna also have high. Oh, there is a question is that another way to do masking? And if you don't like masking for it, and what other choices? And there's as many way that you can do it. That's one is you don't have to mask it. Instead, you just paint around. That would be taking you a lot of attention to watch out the edges. Okay, sometimes there is a reason that sometimes we're using masking. That one of the reason that is we don't want to watch out too much about the edges. So especially like this, lots of wet in the background, right? And the other way to do the masking, if you think about still doing the masking, and that would be using the masking tape. That if you want to cut the piece of tape it in here, that will work too. I have some video talk about the preparation of that. So you can look at it maybe on YouTube. You can search it. And take a look over here. We're going to fighting for the time over here. I'm going to take a little blue, and here you go. Now when you're doing this, you don't need to worry too much about, the space that you have to watch out for. You just do it. Just do it like crazy. I'm going to soften that. And the masking fluid is actually, it protects this space. And masking also is great to actually help you to turn one big problem into small problems. Okay, now this is good. And we can talk a little bit more about, maybe in our next video, we can give a little bit more conversation about different way of masking. We actually have a video, maybe only for members, that in the learning center, that is about different way of masking. Okay, and okay, that looks pretty good already. Now this background is become it getting drier and drier now. And watch out, sometimes you're over here, you see this is the accumulate the wet over there, and I'm going to take this out. Okay, you have to blot those off from here. Otherwise, this is going to keep going back to the top, where that create the texture. Okay, there's some of the spot that actually are blocking the wet paint to coming down to the bottom. And by the way, my paper like about 30 degrees, about probably 15 degrees. And I don't think it's just about like in the top over here is about like 2 inches raised from the table, and while the bottom over here is touching to the table, the angle of the board is making it is easier to have the excess wet, have a spot to going down all the way to the bottom. Okay. I think this is getting there. This is pretty good. Whoa! Do you see that? It looks like I'm missing this piece of shape. Well, in that case, it's still wet. This is great. Now this is a very good accident that is showing us how to reverse that. I'm going to just using this flat brush, just lift it up. Okay, just lift this up. That would work. Let's just lift this up. I'm going to pin a little line next to it after. Okay, this is good. I'm going to also lift up a little bit over here too. And this is great. Okay, wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to just add a little bit green color. Okay, just a little bit green, like that. That's good. And we intentionally let go of the other piece, which is totally fine right now. Okay, this is great. And the painting getting drier, getting wet, getting dry. Okay. So, and the top over here feel like a little bit blue, but will be okay. We want it to look dark. So the idea is to try to do it just one time, and so that we can start focusing on the area that is going to have very crisp edges. So right now I'm just going to use tissues to blot off the wet paint right on top of the flower, and we're just gonna wait a few minutes. Doesn't need to be long, like 4 or 5 minutes, and this is going to getting dried. As soon as the painting dry, we're going to take up the masking, and then you're going to start painting into the main area of the painting. Okay, this is great. All right, while we're waiting, I want to also tell our members about we have a post on Patreon in our enjoying community on Patreon, and talk about this summer plan. I'm going to travel around the country, and I'm planning many stops to meet our members and then talk about your learning challenge, and then we can make plan for the following year. And also we're gonna have some gathering, and as the area community members to do portrait together for a couple days in California, and also we're gonna meeting members to painting in the Grand Canyons, and as well as many other stops. So please look for that post and let me know your availability, and then we can plan the schedules, plan the time, and plan our events, what we're gonna do together. Okay. So if you're not a member yet, you're still thinking, please come to join us. This summer is going to be fun for all of us. Okay, this is good. Now it is already getting dry, right? This is pretty good. And this is still a little wet. And this already dry over there. And I can start from the bottom over here up. Okay, to see, I'm going to lift up the masking. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, let it completely dry first. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. You can put it down. Hi, Jeremy. I see you over there. You also can come to the Zoom with me, so we can have interactive conversation. Hello. And also, if you live in Boston area, which is where I live, we are planning, in the process of planning the meeting in Massachusetts area. I welcome any of our members that come to join us, maybe paint, doing some outdoor painting. So let's see. I'm going to, this is good. Start lifting this up. That's good. Coming up over here. Alright, now we're going to start lifting up the masking. Usually I don't do it so fast because it's the light painting. I don't want you guys to wait that much. And normally you can actually take a break and go to get a coffee or tea or wine and relax yourself. And when the whole thing dries, and then you can come back to start painting into this protected area. This is good. Make sure your fingers clean, or you are going to making this dirty. Okay, here you go. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to clean my finger. I have a little paint into it already. Okay, that's good. All right. Here you go. That's good. There is some called masking fluid pickup. if the whole thing dry, it's just very easy to just use a finger to lift up all this. Become very, very simple. Okay, it's almost done. Okay, here you go. Here we go. Sometimes the masking fluid is pretty thin. If it's too thin, it becomes also a problem when you try to pick it up. So making sure there's no masking. Okay, this is good. Alright, now we're gonna start painting into the flower. Alright, we're gonna pick one place. Why don't we just do it from a little bit later? So we are going to let's clean a couple spots. Okay, so now we need some spot for the red color. Alright, that's good. Alright, now we're gonna just get the red color. Start from a little bit lighter. So a little lighter red. And take a look at right here. There you go. A little light red color. Right over there. That's good. And the little light red color. You can paint the whole thing light red. But it's just preparing my observation about knowing this is the lighter area and this also a little light area. Okay, like that. And here you go. There's a little light color over here. That's good. A little light color on the edge right over there. And this also the light color coming all the way here at the bottom. Have a little bit greenish color. So we're going to get to that. Alright. Get that's good. Coming over here. And then this also a little lighter red color coming down here. Okay. That's good. And we have a little bit light color over here too. And a little light color on over there. After we have the contrast between a sharper area and a lighter area, you're going to see something very interesting. And when they are presented together. And seeing the red over here, this is also a little bit more like a light red and orange color. And in the shadow over here would be a lot darker. Now this is good. Now we're going to get the red color. And I'm going to also have a little bit yellow with it. And the yellow also make the color look brighter. Now here we go. Now we're going to start painting from here. Okay, and this flower petal, and get all the way coming down. Yep, that's good. Coming down over here and stop. Here you go. Now I'm going to actually loosen this area. I want to have this coming in a little bit, so we can let go of. Or at the end, you also can use the gouache paint to also revise and take a look at over here. It's not really the darkest color, but we're going to add the dark color in a bit. So over at the bottom over here, I'm going to keep the little clean edge. And here you go. Ooh, now it's gone. It's okay. We're going to rebuild it. Now, here you go. Now I'm going to have continue with this. Make sure that it had enough water in the paint or it's not going to work. And here you go, coming over here, and I'm going to leave a little edge. That's good. Okay, that's a little bit soft coming over here, and this is good. We're gonna keep that. We can have a little bit soft. We can come back to it after we paint it, make a little bit clear edge. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna have this coming over here, and this another petal. This is good. That's good, like that. And on the other side, we can paint a little bit in over here, a little bit softer edge, and seeing the top a little bit light. This is good. I'm gonna also have that little bit darker coming down over here. Now this is the first round. I'm gonna on this side, I'm gonna have the edge over here a little bit darker. I'm also gonna loosen the pink, the area in the background, part of the background, and I can actually come back with this 1-inch flat brush. I'm gonna have to this loosen that up a little bit, just make it a little bit lighter, and then I'm gonna also loosen up over here as well. Okay, here you go. And when the color lighter and thinner, and we can put the new color in. So this is good. Now let it dry a little bit, and let's taking care of the flower, this stem coming down over here. Here you go, a little bit lighter, and filled in the color. We're gonna have the shadow side a little bit darker, and will be okay. And the same color is a little bit warm, like this. That's good. Okay, have this whole thing coming over here, and I'm gonna come into a little bit green color, so a little bit bluish green. Okay, a little bit more blue. Get the yellow color. Okay, a little bit more blue. Now here you go. Now we're gonna have this color and try to make it a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna have that not so dark, just light up a little bit. Okay, this is good. And we're gonna have this a little bit bluish. Here you go, like that. So when you think about colors, you got to aware of what is just the value of the color. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna have this. Now this is seeing a little bit dark, but it could be okay. Now we have take care of the foundation color over here. Now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come back to the top over here. This is getting dry already, getting a little bit softer. Okay, and I'm gonna come back here to the flower. So you are always kind of rotating about the different locations and to work into it. Now look into a little bit more closer. And when the color a little bit thicker, if you make the color thicker, it also be able to make the color a little bit more solid edge. Okay, this is good. Now coming over here, now we make a little separation between this petal and the petal next to it. Okay, this is good, like that. Right, it's all about contrast. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the shape over here and the light and shadow. Okay, this is good. And coming over here, this is pretty good. And take a look at this, and can be also wet into wet, a little bit softer, like that. And we can make this a little bit separate. And we take a look at outside over here, because I lift up a little light. Now I can fill in the white the red color into this, and the bottom over here I can say have a little bit blue color too. Here you go. That's good. And now we're gonna come back a little bit And I'm gonna just use a little bit yellow color. Okay, that is the fun part. Okay, now I'm gonna have this open up the brush here. It's very good, and coming up over here. So think about the hierarchy of the value in the different places of the flowers. Okay, you want to make sure you keep that some area to be lighter and some area darker, so that you create that form dimension. And that, here we go, we're going to come in a little bit in the middle over here and coming right here. That's good. This good. And a little bit shape in the middle over here. Keep looking for shapes, and if you get the shape right, the shape would convey the message. And I'm gonna have some little thin line. That's good. Okay, that's good right here. And coming back to this area, and here you go. Now a little bit more clear. I'm gonna have that a little bit fold, showing the little bit fold. Now come to this petal, and I kind of missed it. Okay, here you go. And I can suggest it. And also this flower petal on this side is a little bit darker, so make it feel like, yay, that's the separation between this and the thing on the back. I'm gonna have that little line over here. Getting there. On the bottom over here, now get a little bit darker, coming down here, like that. The method, the process of what to look for in every step, and what need to be later, what need to be earlier, and we're always looking for the larger area. The larger shape is always come first, right? I'm gonna get the yellow color, and I get a little bit smaller and smaller as we go. So I'm gonna have this a little bit more like orange in this color, and here you go, coming down over here, and I have some line, and also here. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna just use the water, soften that a little bit. Okay. Now I'm gonna have just the red color. Get in a little bit here. See that? I'm gonna have this also a little bit dark color. And seeing this, the texture of the petal, flower petal. This is good. Like that. A little bit over here darker, and getting the bottom over here a little bit darker, and I'm gonna have a little bit blue color mixed into it. Okay, there you go. Now, and when you have even darker than the red, what you can do, go to the blue color, right? Here you go. That's good. Like that. I'm gonna have this also a little bit darker, like that, coming up. Okay, here you go. Now I'm gonna have this a little shape. Some of the details need to be done when it is wet, and some need to be done when it is need to wait until it dries. Okay, that's good. Now we're getting the details, interesting detail, and soften that a little bit, and this is good. And now we're going to make some even darker color. So now a little bit darker, that means that little bit blue. This is basically blue and red color, so I get a little bit blue with this. Now I'm going to come back over here. Now this a little bit darker. That's good. Now you don't want to have the same color all the way coming down. Either make it feel like a little bit translucent, and like a little bit darker and lighter. Right? Okay, that's good. All right, that's good. And a little bit darker over here. Now when it's coming down over here, make that. That's good. A little bit more clear. Now, that's good. Now in the middle over there, I'm going to keep a little bit red, just the red. That's good, like this, and have a little bit shading, a little bit texture over there. Now I'm going to take a look at the bottom over here. Also, get a little bit darker. You see how I render the brush, and sometimes you need to watch out the movement of your brush to make the most effective. Okay, here we go. Coming to the bottom over here, and then that's good. Now only the edge a little bit darker, but the inside still have just red. So I'm gonna have this a little bit transition in the middle over here, so make it feel like a little bit diffuse color. Very beautiful. A little bit over here. That's good. That's good. A little bit darker. That may be too dark. We're gonna see. And this a little bit darker. Okay, this is good. Now I'm gonna have that a little bit yellow with the red. Make it feel like an orangeness. Okay, here you go. And by using the outside, this petal and the outside, it separate these two flower petal. Okay, this is good. Like that. And a little bit over here. So make sure you keep that clean. That's good. Okay, and get a little red over here. A little red on this side. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna have that just a little water. I don't need to be that dark, so have a little bit coming down over here. That's good. Beautiful. Be patient, and you can do it. And just about taking the time and follow the direction. Okay, that's good. On this side, I'm gonna have a little bit darker down over here. That's good. And we're gonna use some gouache white and coming back here to define a few other areas. Now let's take a look at the shadow side. Make a little bit darker after. Take it shadow side. Not really, maybe not really that dark, but we're gonna see. It's coming over here, and also a little bit catch the shadow on there, and moving it a little bit forward over here. Now I have a little bit catch the shadow, blocking that, and coming all the way to the bottom over here. That's very clear and important. And we're gonna also make the shadow side to catch the shadow on this leaf. Okay, all light and shadow, light and shadow. Okay, that's good. Now take a look over here. We see this, the shape on this side. Okay, you got a little bit lighter, and like this. Oh, this is good. You see, as soon as you get the light and shadow, light, shadow, light, shadow, it will show nicely. Okay, that's good. And the bottom over here, a little bit texture coming down like this. Very nice. And now also gonna have a little bit shadow side, the edge right for this leaf. And that's good. And we can also separate that a little bit and showing this a little curve of that. This is good. We can make this a little bit darker as well. And here you go. Now also going to make this a little bit softer, like that. I have a little bit red color here too, a little bit softer right in the middle. Okay, this is good. I have a little bit transition. All right, and it's almost there. And I'm going to take a look at things is come along together. I just need some final retouch, and this paintings will be done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little bit gouache white and do a little correction. Okay, And let's take a look. I'm going to take the acrylic gouache white. I'm going to put it on the side over here. And here you go. I'm going to take it a little bit. This is good. This is good. Now I'm going to take a look. And this light color should be coming down a little bit more over here. That's good. Right. This color, the edge, very important. I'm going to have that coming all the way like this. Okay, that's good. Coming all the way up over here. And we're also going to see there's a little big shape for coming all the way into this area. And take a look on this. This is good already. I'm going to have this also a little bit lighter. In a little big shape like that. This is good. That's already good. And we're going to look at if anywhere else it needs some final retouch with a couple stroke a little bit lighter and make it much better. I'm going to get a little yellow color. I'm also going to make this a little bit more orange color. Here you go, right over there. And I think this also can be a little bit darker, the whole thing. Okay, that's good. Like that. Now it's much better in order. Now I'm going to take a little bit more. Get a little bit shape over here. And also I have that, a little bit orange color coming down. A little bit softer. That's good. A little bit red. A little bit more red. Right on the top over here, coming down. And watercolor, and you need to keep in mind that while you can always continue working on the painting, but you make sure that you get the color, the intensity of the color, and the value of the color always in mind. Okay. Yes, on this I'm going to make this a little bit clear, and on this side I'm going to make this a little bit darker. Okay, this is good. Now the value look much better. Now I'm going to add that little bit darker color right over here. Okay, here you go, right there. And I'm going to thinking about it to get in a little bit over here so that make this doesn't look like a straight line. We slow down this movement. Okay, if I add a little curve over here, this is good, like that, and a little bit dividing that, that's good. And the bottom over here, I'm going to have a little bit reflection color, which is the green color. So I'm going to take the yellow and the green, mix it into this a little bit opaque color. And this is definitely is too light. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little bit more blue and mix back into here. Now here we go. Maybe a little bit red. So now this color is not translucent color. It's a little bit opaque. Now I'm going to put this color in. And that's good. Already have some color there. Now I'm going to come back here a little bit blue. And take a look. Now merge that into this color. Now this is good. Now we have some nice cool color reflected the flowers around. Now I'm also going to have this yellow color over here, and I'm going to also have a little bit more gouache white. I'm also going to put this little bit yellow color at the bottom. Now that looks much better. Okay, moving that out a little bit. And by the way, in our enjoying art, we have a different club. So we have opaque painting club. If you want to explore the opaque medium like oil painting, gouache, acrylics, okay. And I'm gonna have this Okay, that's good. And a little bit lighter right there. Yeah, a little red. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's beautiful. Now we can have the layering of all different petal. I'm gonna have that a little bit more red. I'm gonna have that in here. Cover that a little bit more. And we're gonna come back here, have a little bit blue and green color. And have that catch the shadow. Right here. This is good. And now I'm gonna come back to have a little bit darker color, even darker, and putting that in here. Now another emphasis that also here much darker. Now make this stand out a lot more. Okay, that's good. Like that. Wonderful. And I'm gonna make that a little bit darker on the other side, and also this catch the shadow of under this this stem need to also a little bit darker. Okay, I can have this a little bit separate. Doesn't need to be this light, this dark at the bottom. I can lift up a little bit. Okay, that's good. Alright, now we're gonna call this painting finish. So if you like this kind of painting, I know that most of you already have subscribed to this channel, but if you haven't, subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our future videos. And if you're already a member of Enjoying Art, I thank you for your support. Hey,